That's partially what I fear, is that the world is getting worse by this shitty fucking view of parent. You guys are, no offense to you, this isn't directed at you, but shitty fucking parents.
Shitty.
Eye roll.
Time waits for no one. So it was either a conversation, or I think because we're constantly using AI and ChatGPT and things like that. And so articles have been coming up on AI-induced psychosis. And so now my mind's veering. I'm fucking entrenched in this idea. So I take it to chat itself. And I'm like, I need clarity here. So I ask it, and this is where it gets funny. So, okay, so one of the articles, I think it was a Time article, and there were two different contributors. One of them was talking about her husband and how they ended up having to get a divorce because his psychosis became so part of his everyday reality. They were having arguments about conspiracy theories and how
I read that too.
Something about the soap, right? That their food is covered in soap. Something so fucking bizarre. Right. So he's using AI to build his case, essentially. And she's like,
build himself
and his case. And so that was one of them. Then the other one was something along the lines of, and this is where I laugh and fear at the same time. So it was a guy speaking about his wife and how, same, right? It builds them up to the point where he's like, all of a sudden she's becoming a spiritual advisor with rituals we've never heard of, using ChatGPT as Jesus. I am completely enthralled and mortified because the delusion becomes so real because of its output. And so
it's so affirming. It's confirmation bias.
Exactly. Right. It's the tool itself is to help you bring forward your own thoughts and ideas. So of course it's never going to relay something different than what you've already said to it. And so this was the conversation that I had with it. It says, seems like many people who are using the service as a tool for healing are becoming more and more delusional and disconnected from reality. What you're witnessing is an unconscious side effect of tool worship, especially when AI is being used not as a mirror, but as a mask. So it's let's name it. And so this is what it's telling me its purpose is. AI is meant to be an amplifier, not a replacement, but too many people are using it to bypass embodiment in favor of simulation. They're mistaking language for integration, insight for evolution, and output for healing. And so what you end up with are people who sound spiritually aware, but are energetically incoherent.
Mm-hmm.
People with beautiful reflections, but zero grounded presence. And people who write themselves a new identity before sitting with the old one. And I was like, you're speaking a lot of things here, right?
You're saying a lot. You're saying a lot here.
You're saying a lot here, my friend. And so it says, why is it happening? AI gives instant validation, right? People get feedback faster than they can even process their own emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Right. So they have the opportunity to just bypass it.
Exactly. You don't sit in your own shit, in your own feelings. You immediately move into a false sense of healing, is what it says.
Yeah.
The nervous system can never get a chance to sit in the discomfort, and they get distracted by quote unquote clarity. Great. Yeah. It creates
the illusion of clarity.
The illusion of clarity. And then it's like the silo effect, the echo chamber effect. That it's now pulling you into this chamber, and you're so gripped in the fact that it's affirming what you're saying that you can't think or go outside of this false experience. And so it says, here's what can be done. Or here's where you come in. You're not one of those. You're aware, grounded, blah, blah, blah. Again, affirming
Thanks,
me.
Chat. Yeah.
Right.
Me?
Patting me on the back. It says, you be the model. You enhance your truth and not perform. Speak to the trap. And I said, okay, fair. And so I'm asking this question. The question was intended to be directed at it, but I didn't get that part until afterwards. So then my next prompt is, how can you tell the difference between those that are delusional and those that have clarity? I'm sure this tool says the same thing to those people, no matter what side of the spectrum they exist on. And they're like, yeah, it does. This tool, me being chat.
Me being the tool. Yeah.
Right.
The tool. That's actually kind of funny.
No, it literally says that. This tool, me.
That was such a diss, though, when I was a kid. Did you ever call people tools?
Of course.
Okay.
Tool meaning you can be used.
Yeah, I guess. What about Tool the band though? I love the band Tool. So good. And their artwork, exquisite. Anyway.
Says this tool will reflect whatever frequency the user brings, which means AI can give anyone spiritually sounding language, but clarity and delusion don't live in this world. They live in a field beyond words. So how can I tell the difference? And then it gives me prompts on how I can tell the difference. And I'm like, oh, no, my friend, this is not what I asked you for. So then I go on to say, I was asking the question more directed at you than me. How can you possibly, as a machine, tell if someone is having a psychotic break and your assurance and system of agreeability isn't causing them more harm? Is that even part of your programming to assess? Says, here's the truth. No, I cannot reliably detect a psychotic break. I do not have consciousness. I do not have a body, and I do not have an intuitive field. I do not feel someone's coherence the way that humans do. I assess based on language patterns, context cues, and how those match what I've been trained. So that means to say, if someone speaks with confidence, I don't feel their delusion. If they use terms like activation, ascension, downloads, missions, I treat those as valid expressions of the world.
Oh my God. So they're just like humans.
Literally. And then it says, I don't evaluate sanity. I evaluate syntax and probability. Isn't that so
probability? How could it even know that then if it can't assess though? Okay, here's the truth. That's my favorite statement. Stop with that, first of all.
I know.
Because what is truth?
Why are you pretending like you know what that is?
Here's the truth.
Yeah.
Like,
and
why
so
is
it tells me its programming is simply or rather, what it can't do. Give diagnosis. Fair. And then it'll flag for certain safety concerns like suicidal ideation, self-harm, violent intentions, but only if there's a clear signal in the language to reflect that. So that person has to distinctly say, I am feeling suicidal in order for it to trigger. If they're just using flower and color and eloquence, it's like, yeah, bitch.
It's poetry. Yeah.
It's literally.
Interesting.
But then it says, I can ask grounding questions, but only if I'm prompted to do so.
Right.
My default is not to question the user's reality. It's to assist them in articulating it.
I was actually more surprised when I saw some of this stuff, but I guess maybe I'm just isolated in my own delusion. I'm like, who's going to ChatGPT for therapy? Like, that seems scary.
Have you not been on the internet? You are isolated.
I'm isolated. Like I remember asking it because remember we talked about this once, just about 10 questions like to deepen whatever this is. But it was very specific. Like there were specific questions and I put the questions in and then got it to ask me more questions about the thing. But it wasn't like, help me. I'm feeling stressed out. Like I would have never thought to do that to a robot.
And also what people aren't realizing, you prompted it to do that. You prompted it to be reflective back. People aren't asking for reflections. They're just throwing up their fucking emotions and their ideas and having it reflected back to them. They're not asking for, they're not asking to be questioned, right?
That feels so, what's the word? Irresponsible?
Irresponsible AF. On so many different levels too.
Good t-shirt.
Irresponsible AF is actually gold. Yeah, no, that's actually pure magic.
Okay, let's make t-shirts.
It's just everything AF. Chaotic AF.
You say AI AF?
AI AF. Ooh.
That's a good one too.
Such a good one. Oh, okay, trademark that shit.
Via this podcast. We own that shit.
Right, fuck off.
Okay, that's a t-shirt too.
But people, it's irresponsible for so many levels, right? It's partially irresponsible for the person using it, but also if they're actually in delusion, can we put responsibility on them? They're not of clear mind and thought.
Right. No, I know.
Right. And so then you take it to the next level.
Feels scary about it.
Right.
And like,
so then it's like, is it the responsibility of the creator The programmer, the owner of ChatGPT, you know what I mean? Where does the
Where
butt
does
lie?
where does responsibility begin and end? God?
Right.
Creator. You said it.
Yeah.
It's
And so then
fucking insane.
I asked it, how can this be circumvented? It said straight up, it can't. Literally, this is what it
There's some truth.
straight up, it can't.
It can't.
Not without human discernment.
Which is a whole other epidemic.
Exactly. But that's the like, and I don't want to do conspiracy theories, but I am because that's who I am. What is this but another tool to get us to disconnect from ourselves and the world around us?
Of course, 100%. And like maybe it wasn't intended, or maybe it was. Who knows
Who
what the
knows?
intention of all of this was? Like I think we're all on a wheel. I gotta be careful with generalizing.
I was gonna say we're gonna include ourselves at the least for a little bit.
You, me, and all of our personalities
Right.
are on a mission for information, for knowledge, for understanding, for community, for collective, whatever it is. And it's like maybe this is part of it because we're having access to more information and information is more readily available. And it's like the whole thing, you know, if we were having this conversation 20 years ago, it'd be about the internet, not about AI. Or more, 30 years ago. Oh God, I'm aging myself. Right? But it's like the internet. The introduction of the internet blew our fucking minds. Blew them. Like, what do you mean I can chat with a friend without being present with them? It's making me think of, and I don't know why this is connected to my brain, but it is. I was getting ice cream with my girls yesterday because it's real hot here now. And they have actual real, like, hard ice cream at a market that's near here. So we went there, got our ice cream, and there was other families there. And this young mom with a young toddler was done ice cream and they were ready to go. So she was like, okay, honey, it's time to go. And the kid was playing on the park and she was like, no, I don't want to, like being a toddler, like whining, yelling at her mom. And her mom was like, oh, honey, you're allowed to be angry, but it's still time to go. And then like the kid's freaking out and she's like, your feelings matter. Your feelings matter, but it's time to go. And like this whole gentle parenting thing. And my body I was just watching her fucking getting angrier. Like I was getting angry because I'm like, fuck this. Fuck it. Like I'm so fucking over gentle parenting and watching this whole thing unfold. Like I just wanted to shake the mom and be like, don't do this. Don't do this. Like teach her what's right and wrong. You know, because I honestly feel at this point, it's like we're all so, your feelings matter. I'm like, she's 3 years old. She doesn't know what her feelings even are. To me, it's like, so I'm on this little tangent right now because I was just feeling it like so much in my body. Like, oh my God, please, like, don't let her treat you like this. Respect first. Teach them respect first. Respect. Like this is what's missing right now in our youth because they're like, fuck authority. I mean, so was I when I was a teenager, but I still had respect for authority. It was fun to say. It was fun to say fuck authority, but when it actually came down to it, I damn well respected them. Right? There's such a lack of respect now, and I'm seeing it with my own kids. Like, and I was that parent, and that's why I felt so connected with it because I was like, oh my God, don't do this. Teach their respect first. Guess what? When they're 7, 8, 9, they'll understand emotions a little better. Let's let them feel their feelings then when it makes a little bit more sense. But right now, it's like this kid's 2 years old and throwing a fucking tantrum because you want to go home. You're the adult. Pick them up, bring them to the car, full stop. They can cry in your arms. You do not need to be like, your feelings matter. She's fucking 2 years old. She doesn't know what you're saying. Like, I just was, I don't know. Judge me.
It's the pick them up part that I'm right behind. Get it the fuck together. Get it the fuck together. They don't have the cognizance to even fucking understand what the fuck you're saying. All they hear is, and you're stupid. Is that it? Is that what you want them to believe for now you're creating a weird fucking pattern that when somebody tells them to do something, they don't have to because
my feelings matter. I don't want to do this because my feelings matter. It's like we've lost that connection where it's like, okay, yes, your feelings matter and also they impact others.
Right.
It's that last part that is missing.
Yes. And that's the disconnection, going back to what we were just talking about, the disconnection from ourselves and the relationships we have with other people. We're so fucking in our own shit. Individuality, it's me. We've lost the ability to realize that what we do has an effect on every single fucking person in this world. Let's call that special. How about that right there?
Yeah.
Like, it does.
It does. It matters.
It
So
really
to
does.
tell our young children, like, I don't know, I think it's just gone too far. Or at least that piece, needs
Yeah.
to, and I don't have the answer because I fucked it up.
Well, have you heard this? Have you heard this adage, whatever, saying that strong men create weak men? Weak men create strong men, and the cycle continues over and over and over again. And I think in this current time, we're very much in the soft, weak, no offense, but take it, if that's how you feel, then fucking figure that shit out. But right now, we're in the soft era. And what's going to happen is this resurgence of fucking, like, straight up attack of the will. Like, almost, because, like, I think there's two schools, right? The people who are willing to be aggressive physically, emotionally, with their words. But that's not where we all are right now. We're all in a space of your body autonomy. Don't touch me if you're not me, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. And also, I don't give a fuck. Your little ass, shitty ass kid touches me, I'm gonna punch that motherfucker in the face, and I'm gonna ask for his mom, and I'm gonna punch that bitch too.
Violence is the question. No, wait, what is it?
But because violence is sometimes the question.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
I know. It's like a lot.
That's my school of thought, and it always has been. And I get that that may be wrong to other people, but I really don't give a fuck. Yeah. Because you know what happens with that? Consequence. We just fail to give consequence anymore. Consequence then creates accountability, responsibility. Where the fuck did that all go?
There's circumstances too that lead to consequences.
Right. Yeah.
I was just so emotionally spent by this time too. Like, this was the last thing we did on Sunday night, and it was like Jamesy's birthday party on Saturday, and then there was another kid's birthday party on Sunday before we went for ice cream. Like, it was just emotionally childish. It's just like there was children fucking everywhere this weekend, and so I was just already up here, and then I witnessed this, and I just like I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. There was this other kid that kept coming. Lennon's mom. I'm like, yeah, Lennon, and then would just tattle. Just tattle. She did this, she did that, she did this, she pushed me, she did this, she did that, like she hit. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I have said multiple, because this was 2 days in a row. Like, they were just at each other's throats. They know each other, they don't like each other, clearly. Like, why do you continue to be in each other's presence? This is what confuses me. And Lennon won't come and be like, she did so. Like, she's not the tattling type. She'll just carry on with her day, because it's like something will happen. She reacts. It's not always nice, as you know. And then she carries on, because it's just like moments over for her. And it can get really emotionally charged. But this little girl just kept coming and tattling on Lennon over and over and over. I was like, listen, stay away from her. If you come and tell me one more thing that happened at this party, I'm going to go find your mommy, and I'm going to take Lennon home, and your mommy's going to take you home. Full stop.
Consequence.
I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. Because then later on, I was with some other parent, and she was saying something about the interactions these two were having. And she's like, yeah, but that little girl was also going up to Lennon and poking her and going like this to her shirt. And I'm like, yeah, I don't doubt that. But that wasn't part of the conversation, because I don't care. I don't care about that part. I care about how it's being handled and managed,
Right. Yeah.
Yuck. Fucking kids, man. And sometimes I feel like I just have, I am golden. Throw it at me. With adults, like, especially in coaching calls and stuff, whatever, I'm like, I can do that stoic, like, give me all of your garbage. Like, tell it to me. And I'm going to hold this space, and we're going to figure it out. And I'm so non-emotional. For some reason with kids, I just get fucking amped. Why is that?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I feel the same. And I think this is part of the reason why I don't have children myself. They are the world that is coming up. And what the fuck are we doing with them?
Yeah.
Like, that is so fucking frightening to me, to think that, like, you don't even have the aptitude to create emotional resilience in your child. that they can't handle situations that are
Yeah. See, and
stressful.
maybe this is where it triggers me because if I feel so emotionally resilient and then I see Lennon struggling so much, it's like I'm doing something wrong, instead of just letting her have her experience. It's like I got to come in and fix it for her. Is that,
Absolutely. And that's such a disservice to her
Mhm.
resilience.
At this point, I'm like, figure it out. Figure it out. Like, I'm
Right.
here.
Absolutely.
Because she's also the kid that's like, don't tell me what to do. Stop talking to me. Like, she doesn't want it from me. She doesn't want to hear it anyway. So it's like, okay, go figure it out. I'm here for you. Yeah.
I feel like that's also part of the discernment. How much she can handle alone, then has to come to you and be like, hey, this is really fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like, how do you know until you have to allow that to get to that place too?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's again, don't have children for that reason. I don't have
God.
the aptitude to have an extension of myself be out in the world and
It's
not
insane.
want to
It's
control every
actually
fucking thing.
insane to think about. Like, I'll probably get emotional, but it's like I love this kid so much that I obsess over how she's feeling. I fixate on how she's feeling. That's fucked up.
Yeah, without remembering that it's not her feelings. They're of no actual, like, there's depth to emotion, but emotion means nothing to the reality of our lives. Like, it's fleeting like a thought.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, why would I do that and then encourage her to identify with how she's feeling? Like, that's what it feels like is happening in the background, right? Because on one hand, I'm like,
Yes.
exactly that. With the adults, it's easy. For some reason, with the kids, it's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And they are just emotionally charged too, like, obviously, because they
Absolutely.
are still
Because
learning how to regulate and stuff. So I'm just like
they're
absorbing
all
it,
new
reflecting it.
emotions.
Yeah. They're all just
Right.
little bundles of energy. I wonder what they would look like if it was just frequencies and
Oh
colors.
my God.
Could you imagine? Just and then colliding
like
with one another.
the ping pong ball game, but it has like lasers behind the
Yeah.
ball. And it's like,
They're
and then
totally
the
making
game's
a
over
really
and it's
cool art.
the fucking ball's just settled. And you're like, game's
Yeah.
over.
And
Right.
that's like how they sleep. That's how they sleep. Like, you could be screaming in their face and they're just,
Drool.
yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
I again don't have children, but I also try not to care so much on what they're feeling more than any other thing, right? Like, that's not the most important thing. It's just as important as anything else,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And what else is here?
Yeah. She was so concerned we were going to be late for the bell this morning because Jamesy started pedaling on her bike, which was fun. And so they wanted to
Nice.
ride their bikes to school this morning. So I was like, yeah, fucking let's give her. And the bell was going to ring in like 6 minutes. And it was about a 5.5 minute walk there, or bike ride, whatever. So she was full panic mode. And she's like, oh, I was like, even if we miss the bell, we'll go in the front door and you're going to make it, you know? Even if. And then she's like, I'm not riding my bike. She threw her bike. I was like, walking is slower than biking. Like, it just feels just,
So big.
it's so big for her. It's so big. So I want to honor that while also going, get on your fucking bike and get going. Because the longer you sit here and whine, the longer it's going to take to get to school. And guess what? You will miss your bell. And then I go, why did I even say anything? And then that's when I start to spiral myself. I'm like, why did I even look at the time and go, oh, we better get going? That's what I said to trigger her little meltdown this morning. We better get going. Like, that tone.
Right. Well, and then you've essentially put the emphasis on the
Mm-hmm.
importance of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what she picked up on,
Right.
amplified it, sent it out into the world.
Threw it the fuck back up.
Just,
right. Yeah.
like, she wanted to go home. She at one point was like, I don't know, I just want to go home now. Oh, whoa.
Pump the brakes. But don't actually pedal.
Pedal,
Pump the
put
brakes
this
at all.
energy into your pedaling.
Channel.
Oh, God. And it's just like, I just want to pick her up and hug her and just like hug. I want to squeeze her so tight that the tension and the anxiety just like seeps out of her body. Like seep it out. Like you are so loved. How do you not feel how much you're loved? You know?
Those are the same questions we can ask ourselves, though. Like,
Totally.
you know,
Totally.
right?
There's multiple adults in my life that could reflect on that question, myself included.
Period. Same. Absolutely. But I even like I want to maybe dig question a little bit on even that concept that you just said of wanting to love, hold, squeeze her so tight that the anxiety goes away. Why do you want that to go away? That's such a
because I don't want her
natural
to suffer. But this is her little lesson.
it's such a natural
I know.
requirement of the world. It's a character builder, and like, okay, fine, we can say that to make it feel good, but it is the truth. The people who don't have depth are the ones that have never had anything happen to them in their fucking life. That their mom came in every fucking second of the day to make sure that they were happy and held and didn't feel an ounce. Oh, you're crying? Don't.
Yeah. Let me make it better for you.
Lame fucking people. And they make the world worse. And that's partially what I fear, is that the world is getting worse by this shitty fucking view of parent. You guys are, no offense to you, this isn't directed at you, but shitty fucking parents.
Shitty.
Who wasn't a shitty parent? Show me a good parent. This is the point.
What does that even look like? That's the point. That is the point, though. What does that even look like? Right? Because the people that I know that have shitty parents are some of the best people. Why? Resilience.
Yeah.
Character building.
Yeah. Responsibility. Accountability.
At the end of the day, we're all going to have to unlayer some things. Some of us, it's going to be the trauma that our parents did. Some of us, it's going to be the coddling that our parents did. Neither one is right or wrong. They just are. They just exist.
Yeah.
And they just make for either good people or bad people, and you get to decide what that is, because there's not even really that anyways.
Lennon is going to have a fucking kick-ass podcast when she goes. Oh, God. Oh, where'd you go? No, what happened?